We spend so much of our lives thinking about external stuff, our jobs, our goals, our relationships. But what if the biggest battles, the ones that really shape our lives, are the ones happening right inside our own heads? I'm talking about the fight against fear, against doubt, against all that overthinking.
This right here is the core idea. It's a really powerful statement because it totally flips the script. It tells us that the biggest thing holding you back isn't out there somewhere. Nope, it's right between your ears. And honestly, that's actually great news because it means you're the one with the power to defeat it.
So, let's treat this as our official battle plan. Over the next few minutes, we're going to walk through a three-phase strategy that's designed to arm you, to get you ready to face that inner enemy and start winning. Not just once in a while, but every single day.
All right, every good strategy starts right here. Before you can win any war, you have to understand who you're fighting. For us, that means we've got to deconstruct fear, really get to know what makes it tick.
So the first thing we got to do is reframe what fear even is. It's not some big, scary monster. It's just a biological program. Seriously, think of it like ancient survival software that's still running on your very modern brain. Its original job? Keep our ancestors from being eaten. But now, it's kind of misfiring all over the place in situations that aren't dangerous at all.
And this is where things get weird. Your nervous system, your body, it literally can't tell the difference between an actual saber-toothed tiger and, say, a job interview. It releases the exact same fight or flight hormones. The things that scare us have changed, but our biological reaction, it hasn't caught up. And that's where so much of our modern stress and anxiety comes from.
When you dig down, way down deep, what's at the root of almost every fear we have? Whether it's the fear of failure or rejection or just looking silly, it pretty much all boils down to this one simple, powerful, and totally wrong thought: I cannot handle it.
This question changes the whole game. Because let's be real, you've handled every single bad day you've ever had, every challenge, every setback. You got through it. You're still here, right? This isn't just about positive thinking. It's about looking at the actual proof of your own strength.
Okay, so here's your first practical tool. When that fear starts to creep in, don't try to run from it. Turn around and face it head on. Ask yourself, okay, what is the absolute worst thing that could happen here? Get specific. Then, you ask that killer follow-up question, and can I handle that? You'll find that 99% of the time, the answer is a clear yes. Just visualizing the worst-case scenario actually proves to your brain that it's survivable, and that just sucks all the power out of the fear.
So, you've identified the enemy. You know what it is. Now it's time for phase 2. Because knowing about fear is one thing, but it's not enough. It's time to build your arsenal, to gather the weapons you need to actively fight back and take control. And this right here, this is your number one weapon: action. Fear loves it when we hesitate. It thrives in that space where we just think and get stuck. But taking action, any action, no matter how small, is the perfect cure. It shatters the cycle, pulls you out of your head, and proves that the monster you were picturing is way worse than the reality.
So how do we make it easier to take action? We build real confidence. But here's the secret. Confidence doesn't just come from telling yourself you're great. It's a result of competence. Just look at this loop. You practice something, you get better. You use that skill out in the real world, you see it actually work. And that evidence builds real confidence, which makes the next action even easier. It's a powerful cycle that feeds itself.
Now here's a mindset shift that is just so liberating. What if there are no wrong choices? So often we get frozen because we're terrified of making a mistake. But what if every decision just leads you down a different road with a different set of lessons to learn? When you start to think that way, it frees you up to just move.
Now, while you're playing offense with action, you also need some solid defense for your mind. First up, you have to learn to say no to things that drain your energy. Protect your focus. Second, stop playing the comparison game. It's pointless. The only person you should ever measure yourself against is the person you were yesterday. And finally, choose your allies wisely. The people you surround yourself with have a huge impact on your mindset.
And that brings us to the final, crucial phase. You understand the enemy, you've got your weapons, but none of that really matters if you don't know what you're fighting for. This is all about defining your mission, finding your why.
This famous quote from Viktor Frankl just nails it. A person can get through almost anything if they have a reason, a purpose. Your why is the ultimate source of resilience. It's the fuel in your tank that keeps you pushing forward when things get really tough. And here's a really important distinction. Purpose isn't something you just find, like you're waiting for a lightning bolt of inspiration. No, it's something you build. You build it through action, by trying things, by learning what you actually care about, by seeing where you can make a difference. That's how purpose is forged.
And hey, let's be clear, your purpose doesn't have to be some huge, world-changing mission. It just has to mean something to you. It can be about being a great parent, creating something cool, helping your community, or it can simply be about the commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. Your purpose is personal.
Okay, let's bring this all together for our final briefing. See, this isn't a war you just win one time and it's over. It's a quiet battle you fight every single day. And victory is found in just consistently applying these ideas.
So here's your whole strategy, boiled down to 3 simple steps. 1. Know your enemy. Remember that fear is just an old program, and you can manage it. 2. Use your arsenal. Take small, consistent actions to build real confidence. And 3. Fight for your why. Let that purpose be the compass that guides everything you do.
Everything we've talked about has been leading to this very moment. The battle isn't something that starts tomorrow, it starts right now. And it doesn't start with some giant leap, it starts with one small step. So the only question left is the one right there on the screen. What's your first move?